The world's a little louder. The sandals have been swapped for sneakers, and the apostles, still trying to figure out Google Maps and grace, 13 men, one Messiah, and Paul, the neighbor who came over for hummus and never left. It's faith, fails, and modern-day miracles. This is Jesus in the city, modern adventures, eternal truths. Peter starts a podcast. Peter burst into the living room with a cheap microphone and too much excitement. Guys, I'm starting a podcast. Unfiltered with Peter. Finally, someone brave enough to speak the truth. Paul cautiously replied, "Do you have a plan?" Peter waved him off. Plans are for people who aren't called. Peter recorded his first episode that afternoon. It was passionate, honest, and mildly offensive. He called out hypocrisy, fake faith, and, somehow, Bartholomew's haircut. By sunset, half the community group had unsubscribed. Thomas read a comment aloud. Love the passion, but maybe less yelling? Jesus sat nearby, silent, observing. The apostles sat Peter down. You said people who wear matching worship shirts are spiritually shallow, John pointed out. Peter threw up his hands. I'm just being real. Jesus spoke gently. Real doesn't mean reckless. Truth without love cuts deeper than it heals. Jesus invited Peter to join him at a community center that evening. They sat with a group of youth who had been hurt by religion. Jesus listened more than he spoke. He asked questions. He looked them in the eyes. Peter, quiet at first, finally said, I guess I've been so focused on being right, I forgot to be kind. Jesus smiled. And now you're ready for episode 2. Peter rebranded the podcast, unfiltered, but with grace. He invited guests, asked questions, and told his own story, failures and all. The views didn't explode, but the comments changed. He's raw, but he sees me, one listener wrote. Paul leaned over and whispered, not bad for a guy who once cut off a soldier's ear. In his latest episode, Peter shared the story of the time he denied Jesus, not as a scandal, but as a confession. He ended the episode with, if there's still grace for me, there's grace for you. Jesus, sitting in the next room, whispered, now he's preaching. That night, Jesus agreed to be a guest on the podcast. No announcement, no promo. The two sat down quietly. Peter pressed record. Jesus opened with, tell me about the time you almost drowned. Peter laughed, I forgot to trust you. Jesus smiled, and still you walked. Peter ended the episode by reading a DM from a listener. I thought I was too messy for church. Thanks for proving me wrong. He closed his eyes and prayed into the mic, Lord, teach us to speak the truth, but always carry it in grace. Peter learned that boldness is powerful, but only when it's wrapped in love. As Ephesians 4, verse 15 reminds us, speak the truth in love, growing in every way more and more like Christ. Because the gospel isn't just about truth. It's about the grace that delivers it. And that's another day in the city, where grace shows up in Wi-Fi outages, group texts, and unexpected moments. If this made you laugh, think, or feel a little closer to Jesus, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a modern parable today. Thanks for watching Jesus in the City, Modern Adventures, Eternal Truths, where the stories are ancient, but the lessons still walk among us. Catch the next episode. Same God, same faith, same baptism. New twist.